Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Share the Tea Tuesdays. It is your girl V, and I have this wonderful young lady named Pamela Davis. That
Hi.
Hi, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good, not too bad, not too bad. Now I know that you have your own podcast.
Yes.
Okay, and well, I don't want to speak for you, but tell me the name of your
Sure.
podcast.
My podcast is called the Well Done Life Podcast.
Okay.
Um, it's a platform that I set up. I think now, yeah, we're in our second year, and I started
Mhm.
during the pandemic, and it is a spot podcast that I created for women. So I wanted to create a safe space where women actually get an opportunity to share their stories and learn and grow from each other. I think women are the foundation of society, and
Oh,
we need
yes.
places where we can be our most authentic self. So that is why I created the Well Done Life.
Okay. Okay. Now you said it started in the midst of the pandemic. So
Yes.
how did you come up with the Well Done Life
Mhm.
podcast? Because can I share something with you
Sure.
when I first heard it? I said, oh, it reminds me of a like when you go to church and they say well
Mhm.
done, you know good and faithful servant type thing.
Yes.
And I said, okay, that reminds me of that. And I said, well, I don't know if
Okay.
this is where she was going with it or not,
Mhm.
so tell me, in the midst of pandemic, how did that
Okay.
happen?
It's funny. The podcast has actually been something that I had been working on. I would probably say about 10 years.
Oh, wow.
It took me 10 years to birth it. And that wasn't because of it was a combination of things, but really the main purpose or the main delay was me. I was
Hmm.
afraid. I was afraid, and I didn't know how to stand in my power at that point. I was like going through some things. I had become a caregiver to my mom, and my sister lives with me. My life had changed really drastically. I lost my father suddenly in like 2010. And
Oh,
so we were very close. And losing him, I had never experienced like a loss on that level. So it really rocked me mentally. And so I hit rock bottom. And out of trying to heal and recover and learn how to live a new life, I found content. And so that was something that I never really thought of initially. Initially, I spent my time talking about being a caregiver. And I actually had a blog called Two Chicks and One Old Lady.
two
'Cause-
chicks and one old lady.
yes, because that literally is what my life is like, is literally two chicks and one old lady. We call my mom Big Senior Bunny. Like she is one of the loves of our lives. And so I was like detailing those experiences because my therapist at the time, because I'd gone to therapy, thought it would be a really good idea for me to express myself. But as I was healing, I started to remember that I'm more than a caregiver. And
Right.
so I started to tap into my strength and realize that, yeah, I went through some things, obviously, with losing my dad and becoming a caregiver, but it forged me into the strong woman that I am. And I said, you know
Mhm.
what? I am not the only woman out here going through this. And we are all trying to live our best lives and figure out how to give the giftings that we have. So, yes, you are right on target because I always have said one of my motto is that when I die and I am standing before God in judgment, that He will look at my life and say that I lived well done. So you are
Mm,
right in line. So that's why I wanted to create the Well Done Life because I truly believe that we're all living our best lives. There's no experts at this thing, and so I wanted to share my journey so that hopefully I can inspire other people to see, you know what, you got it. You can do
right.
this. You can
I
do
love
this.
that. I
Thank
love
you.
that. So 2 years.
Uh
So
huh.
you've been podcasting longer than I have. So that's so you
I
you are
don't know. Like I told you, you got this fly set up right here. I can't, girl. I don't even have a half of that yet. I'm very impressed.
well, thank you. Well, thank you. So on your podcast, you mentioned earlier that it's a safe space for women.
Mhm.
Why did you create it to where it's women focused?
Because I really do feel that women, we are the ones who bear so much of the brunt of responsibility in a lot of aspects
Mhm.
of life. Not saying that men don't. I mean, we do. We God bless, we get blessed a lot of times with smart, with very strong partners. But as
Right.
women, we are the hearts of our family. It tends to feel like
True, true.
we're the ones. I mean, my mom and dad always used to tell me that, my father was the head, but my mother was the neck, and she turned that head where she needed it to be turned.
Okay, I like that.
They worked together, so they were partners. And I think because of a lot of times with the things that women have to go through, and not just in our homes, but in work and in society, we need spaces where we can be honest and just
Mm,
be real with the struggles that we have. And so I wanted to create that, and especially during the pandemic, because if we think about it, especially early in the pandemic, I mean, we were seeing so much social unrest, and we really haven't recovered from it. If you think about it, it's like we're
right,
even more so under attack as women now.
right,
So I feel like instead of us being so divided, this is an opportunity for us to get real and to connect, because no matter what color you are, what ethnicity you are, we've all been through something. And you
right.
can learn something from anyone's story if you just sat down long enough and listened to it.
Mm, and just listen.
Yeah.
Listen and just share your story. I like
Yeah.
that. And
Hmm.
and you are exactly right. During the midst of that, well, at the start of the pandemic, I think everyone just felt like it was temporary.
Right.
It was just going to be, oh, just a couple of weeks. Okay, we got
Hmm.
that. And
Yeah.
then here we are 2 years later, and it's like, oh, wow. So
Yeah.
that's phenomenal. So how do you get your subjects, or your topics, I should say? Like, do you have it? Does it just come to you, or how does that work?
It's funny. I always like to say to people, I'm very intentional. I do research people that I'm interested in talking to, and then I also notice that, like, the universe and God and the ancestors just seem to deliver me people that I'm supposed to talk to as well. I really I don't. I would love to say I have like 100% rhyme or reason. Like, I'm starting to more now, where I'll have like content themed by month. So
Mhm.
like this month, my content is around lights. And the when I say lights, I mean that in reference to people who feel like sunshine, the people who are the ones who you don't have to talk to every day, but you can just pick up the phone and talk to them again and it feel like time never passed. Those
Hmm.
people who motivate you, who speak to your soul. I want to spend some time talking about lights, because there's so many lights in the world. We talk about so much negativity. We talk about haters and, well, all these things. And I don't personally prescribe to the rules of haters. I don't believe that there are haters. I think there are a bunch of hurt people in the world who are just hurting other people.
Oh,
Um,
hold, pause, pause. Hold, let me hit the pause button. Say that part again. They're not
yeah.
really haters, but they're
Mm-mm.
hurting.
Yeah, there are hurt people. Because I mean, if you think about it, I just feel like as a society, we don't really deal with our stuff. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we're so microwave now. We're so quick. We're so, I guess, so willing to share just little aspects of ourselves, be it through social media, what have you. We don't really connect. So you don't know what somebody doesn't look like what they've gone through.
Oh,
Thank God. But
yeah.
in a lot of instances, if you don't look like what you've gone through, that's a blessing. But have you done the work to make sure that you don't feel like what you've gone through? And a lot
Hmm.
of times people aren't doing that. And it could be just because they're not ready to deal with those sides of themselves, or they just
Mhm.
haven't invested the time or the resources to do that work. And so I really feel like a lot of times when we think that people are hating on us, it's not hate.
It's
It's
not hate.
it's 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 envy. It's
Mm.
jealousy. It's insecurity, because they haven't dealt with their stuff, because hurt people hurt other people.
Hurt people hurt other people. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's a mouthful right there. Let me see if the Urshas can come in and have a reflection plate.
Girl.
But but that is so true. And in the midst of this pandemic, a lot of people are hurting,
Yes.
and they're
Yep.
still hurting. And I don't
Hmm.
think they realize that they're hurting until it's brought to their attention. Oh
Yeah.
wow.
I agree with that because I think about it. I mean, even for myself, like I've said, I've had challenges with my mental health. I'm very
Hmm.
open about it. I did, because of grief and stress and all of those things compounded in once. It wasn't like I had like a several warning signs that I was hitting rock bottom. When I hit rock bottom, it was just one day I crashed out.
Right.
And I had to think about where I was in that time period.
Mm.
And if I think about it, I was at the end of my rope. Like I literally did. I remember thinking to myself, it would be so much easier if I just left, if I just killed myself, if I
Hmm.
just decided that this was it. But the only thing that carried me through was not at that point my faith. It was there. I couldn't process it and tap as much into it as I needed to. Is the fact that if I did, there would be nobody behind me to take care of my family.
Mm.
That was it. And so
That was,
I had to, that was my catalyst. So at that point, I didn't have a lot of resources. I was struggling financially. So I called my company's EAP one night on the way home and was like, look, this is what I want to do. And I don't really want to do this and I need help. And so I did it. And I wasn't scared of the backlash. I wasn't worried about it at that point. It was just like I had hit rock bottom. And it
right.
wasn't like I was paying attention to the signs. And that's why I said I think a lot of people, to your point, don't really know
Right.
that they're hurting because you don't pay attention to it. You're just in survival mode. But unfortunately,
Hmm.
survival sooner or later will catch up with you and you hit rock
Yes,
bottom.
it will definitely catch up with you. And I appreciate you sharing that, because May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Right.
And I'm a big advocate for just about anything, to be truthful. But that's my background, and so I'm really passionate
Awesome.
about that field. So I appreciate you taking the time to share that, and even, let
Thank you.
alone eliminating your fear, because you said earlier that you were afraid.
Yeah.
And it's been, you said, over 10 years that you had this
Yeah.
idea, and just being afraid of, like, am I going to make it? And
Hmm.
like, what's going to happen? Are people going to like it?
Yep.
And fear can be very crippling. I always tell people that fear can
Yeah.
actually just take over. And before you know it, time has passed by and you haven't done anything that you really desire to do.
Absolutely. And it took me a long time to get over it. A long time, a lot of
Mhm.
books, and a lot of therapy.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I hate to say it, as Black women, we don't have those a lot of us, I think more now are getting into therapy, but a lot of us, we haven't had that space because, in the Black community, it's kind of like, you know, it's
It,
kind of frowned upon a
mhm.
little
It's
bit,
frowned upon. Yeah.
but it shouldn't be because if that's going to be something that's going to help you be free and be able to
Right.
live your most actualized life, why would you not do it?
Why not?
Right.
Because your life is important. Your life
Yeah.
is important, and I'm happy that you made the decision
Thank you.
to take care of yourself and to do things that you need to do for you. Because that is a big question. Like, who's going to take care
Mhm.
of your family when you're not here? So,
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I would love to say I have like a great plan if something were to happen. Unfortunately, I do not.
right,
I'm
right.
still trying to figure that out, but I think as a family, um, I feel like I think my sister's getting stronger. Like she could make it on her own. We just try to do it, but yeah, that's why I said the well done life is a journey that just doesn't end. That's why there's no experts. Like yes, I can share my journey and my experience, but
Right.
I'm still in the journey too. I'm still being worked on. God is still trying to do a new thing in me.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that. So with the lights, so this month
Yes.
your topic is lights.
Yes.
And so what was your focus last month for April?
April, we talked about Lord. I might have to go back.
That's so many.
That's so sad. Sorry, I think that margarita I had earlier might have gotta hit it. So let me just look real quick at that last one. Okay, worth. Yes, and I should remember that because I totally blew up my life in April. So
Okay.
that should have been like really easy for me to talk about. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Because when you're trying to plan,
Mhm.
events and content and all of that, I mean,
Yeah.
it can flow together. Trust me, I know. And I'm still a baby to this
Oh, you,
role,
I
but
told you, you're like an expert, so don't say baby. You are running. But
well,
yes,
thank you.
it was about worth because worthiness,
Hmm.
and when I say worthiness, I'm talking about it not in the sense of, self-worth a lot of times now is defined by the things that we buy ourselves or the
Oh,
things that we do for ourselves. So if you're driving the nicest car, if you have the nicest clothes, you're going on the best vacations, those are great. You can do all of those things. But when I'm talking worthiness, I'm talking about knowing your worth in the sense that you will stop dealing with people who don't value you the way that you should be treated, or you know what I'm saying, or worthiness in a sense of you're working a job and you know that you are not getting paid at the level that you should be paid,
mm.
or in getting the opportunity to advance in the way that you're advancing, knowing that you're worthy of being able to have the next level, the desires of your heart, or if you have a desire to go out here and start a business or become a content creator, knowing that you add value to the collective so that you are worthy enough to birth your dreams.
Oh, I
That's
love it.
what I talked about last month because yes, I did. I totally blew up my life in April.
Okay, okay.
I did.
Oh my goodness. Well, worth is a ooh, that's a mouthful. And what you just shared, I don't know if you guys are following her podcast or not, but you need to go back and listen to all of those episodes and put it on repeat. And so when your episodes are released, what day do you have a certain day that you
Mhm.
pick?
I release on Sundays.
Okay.
Sundays normally it's up by like 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's what I have
Okay.
myself programmed to do, and I'll push it out. That's like my favorite day. So I
Okay.
just want to make sure you guys have it, something to kind of feed into your soul a little bit before we start the next week, hopefully,
Hmm.
or get you through the week. So yes, that's my favorite time to do them.
Okay. So then that means that there was a new one that was just released this past Sunday.
Yes, there was. And like I said, we were talking about lights, and that episode was with it's called the Ideator and the Master Builder of Condition Her.
Okay.
And they are two women entrepreneurs, Black women entrepreneurs. They're based in LA, Eugenia Marshall and Wendy Berry Rose. And they started a business, intimate product business for women called Condition Her. And so we
Condition her.
talked,
Okay.
yes, Condition Her, and we talked about how they got started, how they met, how their faith kind of led them into this business. I mean, and their business is completely female run. They're actually just launched in
Um,
Urban Outfitters online.
okay.
Yeah, so they are really making moves in the space, and they're so passionate about intimate women's health in a natural way. So it's
Hmm.
definitely a really good, and I want to spotlight them because I mean, they're moms, they work full-time jobs, they're entrepreneurs, and it was just such a great opportunity to talk with them.
Oh wow. Okay. Definitely. So we need to make sure we go back and listen
It's a
to
good,
the
it's a good
Sunday.
episode. Yes, it's hilarious. There's some points on there, some names and stuff. It's if you're looking for a good laugh and some inspiration, definitely it's a good one to listen to.
Definitely. Okay. Now, what episode are you up to now? Because you said
I
2 years, so I know you're keeping track of, or are you
I
keeping track?
am I am. I'm on episode 109 will launch on Sunday.
Okay,
Yeah,
109. Oh my
109.
goodness. Okay,
Mhm.
so you're getting on up there like Ellen DeGeneres. You getting
Well, thanks. I can only imagine. Yes, it's a labor of love. I'm sure you understand. Putting that content out, it's
yeah.
a trip. Hmm.
It is. It is. It is something that you're passionate about. So, with someone that would like to start a podcast,
Hmm.
what type of advice would you give them, or words of encouragement, or what would you say, even especially if it's a woman and she's a black female, or a woman of color, of any color?
Right.
What would you what would you say to her?
I would say speak from the heart and start.
Mm. Oh, that was
Speak
simple.
speak from the heart and start. Like I told y'all, it took me 10 years to get it together, but right when I got ready to launch, it took a friend of mine who I went to high school with, and we don't really see each other as much, even though we live around the corner. We're all so wrapped up in our lives, but she is just like such a motivating force for me. And
Hmm.
she wanted to start a podcast at the same time, and she challenged me to start. And literally, I mean, I started with a $25 mic that I still use from Amazon, and
Those mics are pretty good.
yes, that $25 mic, you don't have to make a large investment. Cause I was like, well, I don't even know if I'm really gonna do this full time, long
Hmm.
term. So let me just not make this major investment and my computer and some garage band. And she taught me how to do it that one time, and I never looked back.
Wow.
And my first
Thank,
episode sounds 500 times different than episode 108, but I started.
that's good. That's good. And thank goodness for that friend for encouraging you to get started and to show you what you need to do.
Girl,
Because
yeah.
it can be scary. I mean,
It is. I think about that night I recorded. I literally I left work. I had to stop by her house, and because I couldn't figure out how to make it work, and she had to like, because I was like, well, I'm gonna give up. You instantly, when it's something doesn't work, sometimes you want to start. Oh, well, maybe that's not my time. It's not my time. It's
hmm,
not right for me. That's why it's not coming together. That's fear and the enemy trying to divert you from your path. I literally got
true.
in my car, drove over to her house. She walked me through it real quick. I drove my butt back home, and I started.
Mm. So
Like, just
you
that's
were
why you
determined.
start. I was, because I did not. It was in my spirit not to give up, even though
Hmm.
my mind was telling me give up because, oh, it's not the timing. My spirit wouldn't, and that's the thing. Like, when you want to start something like this, you got to go for it. It's not about being perfect. It's just about getting started, because you'll get better as you get into it. But if you can start and just see how easy it is and how good it feels to do
Mm.
something that you really love to do, you'll keep
True.
going.
Oh, that right there. Yes, that is true.
Keep going.
Well, I'm so excited for you to be
Thank you.
on my podcast with Share the Tea
So excited.
Tuesdays.
Yes, I love this. Thank you.
And being a special guest, because it's really, to me, I always feel like it's important to talk to people that have the experience and that have done it before. And like I told you before, I've only been doing this for well, I can't even remember when the first time I started. I don't forgot my date. I'm gonna have to start writing
Hmm.
stuff down.
That's
But
okay.
it's been a few months though. I think I
Okay.
started back in November.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good though. Okay.
Yeah. So it's been a minute. But
Okay.
just being able to follow different people and viewing what they're talking about and their content is really inspiring for me. And so that's why I said, let me reach out and see if she's willing to talk with me and
Yeah.
give some insight to other people that would like to do podcasting and go from there. So
Oh,
I'm
my
excited.
pleasure. Well, I'm very happy too. And you know that, yes, you've had me on. So afterwards, I'm going to make arrangements so I can have you on, because I want to
Oh,
help elevate you. So I totally love it. I'm really grateful. Believe me,
well, thank
this is
you.
fun, and it's an honor for me. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that so much. Now, I have a question about
Sure.
with podcasting. Now,
Okay.
I've always heard that you can uh, make it a monetize where you can receive
Hmm.
some funds for it or commercials and all
Yes.
that. And so, is that something that takes some time, or is it based on your like your followers, or how? Because I'm always hearing people saying you're downloading it, and I'm like, well, why would people want to download
Yeah.
when they can just go back and listen to it? So,
Right. You want to check your downloads as much as you can. I have to admit, for the first year, I have not really focused on or for the first 2 years, I have not focused on monetization. At
Okay.
this point, I said I really wanted to focus on building the community and the content. I want to make sure that my content is above reproach. It's my heart. So I'm like, I'm not focused on the money, because for anyone getting into it, I will say, because I have done influencer marketing under Two Chicks and One Old Lady, and working with brands, you do have to be very cautious of that. Not in the beginning, because I find that a lot of times it is very easy to be susceptible to imposter syndrome,
Oh,
to build your following and to get the brands, because you're trying to get the money. And there's nothing wrong with it. I've fallen trap into it too. But I feel like give yourself some time. When they're coming to you as a brand, it could be a combination of your downloads. It could also be your audience that you attract. You could
mm,
probably get campaigns right now. You just need to have a media kit together. I would definitely say make sure that you are focused on your social media, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, whatever you choose to be able to execute your brand. TikTok, I definitely would say, would be one to leverage. I have to admit, I play with TikTok. I haven't really like gone full on where I put most of my content on. I do Instagram because I love it. It's just like it's fun for me, and I have been building, and I just built a separate page for the Well Done Life podcast outside of my personal page. I think I've had it for like a year. I had it like sitting hidden for a while, but I just really started focusing on it. So I'm building that one up now. It
okay.
does. So I would say have all of that together. That's going to help you be able to pitch to a brand for with your reach and your audience. And yes, you can get monetized. There's tons of different ways that you can. Obviously there are some people who use Patreon where you can get a subscriber base together.
Okay.
I normally don't recommend that to anyone who's just starting out
Hmm.
personally, because I feel like, remember, you're trying to get people to pay for your content on a monthly basis. And a lot of times when you're just starting out in podcasting or even in influencing, or let's say you're using it for YouTube, you have to focus on building your content. You got to make sure that your content is so sharp and it's so authentic that it's compelling enough to make someone want to say, you know what, I want to subscribe to you and pay
Gotcha.
that monthly fee. Or you're just going to wind up having to constantly have people sign in and fall off. But if you're
Right.
giving people who consistently good content, they'll stay with you. So you can do Patreon. There's a cup of coffee where you can have people who would buy you coffee. I know it sounds really weird, but yeah, like they give you like $5 for a cup of coffee or something like that. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
you can buy you like 2 or 3 cups of coffee. That's just a cute way of monetizing your brand.
Okay.
Your podcast, you can do that. I've seen people use PayPal with it, Cash App. I know YouTube has where you can purchase now, or like, buy content for certain creators. Once you hit a threshold, you can charge, and people can give you donations toward the
Oh, okay.
content,
Okay.
but you have to hit a certain threshold with them. Instagram does the same thing. And then obviously there's working with brands. And so with working with brands, they can either reach out to you, which they probably will. Once as they continue to follow and see your audience, you'll get brands who will
Hmm.
reach out to you all the time. And then also you can pitch brands yourself. And you can reach out to their marketing team, their influencer marketing people. You can research that through like LinkedIn and through maybe even press releases, and actually pitch yourself, where you could do sponsorships based upon different products and everything that you can. So it can be very lucrative. It's just, I always say, for someone new in it, there's no reason that you couldn't do it, but just make sure that the content and the audience is there, because they're going to hold you very accountable to making sure that you can prove the metrics
Mm.
behind it. And then also you want to make sure that your metrics are strong enough to be able to warrant that, because a lot of times brands will come to influencers like myself and for you, because we're still, I think it's under like anyone under like 10,000 followers is considered like a micro influencer.
Okay.
So
Okay.
as a micro influencer, we're smaller influencers where you have the people who are 10,000 above, and some of those numbers could have changed obviously based upon industry standards and stuff now, but that's
Right.
how they a lot of times tier you out for payments and stuff. So you have to make sure that you know where you fall, and then at the same time you have clear established rates with how you're going to have a brand engage with you, because they will try you to send you product and have you out here working for free.
Oh, not working for free.
Hmm. All the time, yeah. I have to admit, I do get product here and there. I started taking a little bit more now, but normally I'm just like, okay, if I get to it, great, but I'm not promoting anything for free. You have to set your worth, set your pricing and stuff like that. So it's a lot when you
I
get to that
see.
point. It is.
I see. I mean, because there's times where I do like a product review,
Uh-huh.
and I just kind of came up with it at the top of my head because I'm trying so many different things, and
Right.
I'm kind of veganish a little bit. So
Okay.
I eat a lot of vegan foods, and so I'm like,
Okay.
"Oh, let me
Same
try
here.
this, and I give a review on it.
Hmm.
And so I really try to do that, but I've noticed that some of the influencers, they usually like their tag the company, or they'll
Hmm.
say like paid sponsorship, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
I guess I'm working for free right now because I just
for right now, but I mean, you could always join like some social platforms where you, for
okay.
influencers, where you could be registered for campaigns. Like Linkwa is one. I'm trying to think. There's Linkwa, and there are a few others. I used to do quite a bit of them, and it can be very, very lucrative. Yeah,
Hmm.
very lucrative. Where you can, what happens is, so like Link One and some of these other places, they act as agencies in a sense for influencers.
Wow.
So they get campaigns from brands and then they pitch it out for the brand and they negotiate the deals for them.
Wow.
So it is an opportunity, as someone new to the influencing space, where you could register yourself for brands,
Okay.
competitions, brand commitments. It's them. There's Drive Shop for vehicles. I don't know how much, because I like I said, I kind of sat out for the last couple of years with influencer marketing, but when you're in it, it can be very profitable and it's very busy. Yeah, Influencer, there's a lot of them out there. So I would definitely say if that's something that you're interested in getting familiar with, and you're, maybe not at the pitching point, but you
Hmm.
definitely want to see what's out there, you should register with them because they will connect with you for different campaigns, and then
Okay.
you can check on your own as well.
Okay. Okay. So I have my work cut out for me, is what you're telling me.
In the beginning, it takes time, but I think about some of the other influencers that I watch, because I love a lot of YouTube videos and stuff lately.
Hmm.
And even I think about the TikTok people that I see. If I were to say any platform that anyone's new wants to get started on outside of like podcasting, is a great opportunity to build a following, and there is definitely influencer opportunities for money as you build your brand. With
Okay.
podcasting, absolutely, because podcasting is not going anywhere. It is one of the fastest growing segments out here. People listen to podcasts all the time. I mean, we don't commute as much as we used to, obviously, with COVID and work from home. But
Hmm.
even if you're working from home, a lot of people are still listening to podcasts at home during the course of the day. So a lot of these
Right.
platforms will pay for you, for that audience. So that is something that you can do. But then at the same time, if you were really looking to fast build, I would say the fastest building platform is going to be TikTok right now.
Okay. Now I'll be honest. I do have me a TikTok account,
Okay.
and
So do I. So don't
it
worry about it.
it took me forever to get to 1,000 because I think you can't go live until you reach 1,000.
You got 1,000. I don't even have 1,000. So Get it, girl. I love that.
Well, listen, I saw a video where there was a barber that had like he trimmed this model's hair and she has a
Mhm.
really really huge afro, and it was
Okay.
just so pretty. And so I was like, "Ooh!" I said, "Let me just put," and it. I guess you could say it went viral because that helped me get over the 1,000 threshold, and I was so
Awesome.
excited. Like, oh, okay, I'm a celebrity now. I got over 1,000.
Get it. And keep going. Yes.
Oh my goodness, yes. And TikTok is really time consuming. I mean, once you get on there, it's easy to get distracted.
God, yes. Yes.
Like,
I totally lose about 30, 45 minutes a day, especially
right.
at night before I go to bed. I love to watch it. And I sit there and just like and fall out at some of the videos. I love it. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
It is really good. I do like that. I'm trying to I'll figure out how to go live on TikTok with the whole platform deal with podcasts. I haven't worked on that lately, so I've been slacking. But that is true. TikTok is it's a great atmosphere. It is a lot more friendlier than
Hmm.
Instagram at times, um, but thank you for all of this information because you would never know this, and you've done a lot of research and reading and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. I'm a nerd. Back in my many career moves of life, I used to be a digital, or I was previously a digital marketing strategist. I'm now a
Okay.
client success manager for an agency. So I'm very familiar with all of these solutions.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, with TikTok, I would definitely say if I've called this before, and I'm just watching it happen. To me, TikTok is the new generation of YouTube. I think YouTube, because YouTube, if you think about it, is like now become that source that everyone goes to. We use it for hair, we've used it for tool
Right.
cooking, we've used it to try to find a trip. We do all of those things, but the long form video format is not conducive to most adults' mindset. Most of us just
Mhm.
do not have the attention span as much as we used to for long form video. We only want small pockets of content, really quick, get to the point, super engaging. That's what TikTok is. And if you search on TikTok, TikTok has the exact same kind of resources that a YouTube would have. So I personally think that that is what's going to happen. TikTok will continue to evolve and it will become like a search engine of its own,
Wow.
forum based upon YouTube, and YouTube will struggle to keep up because yeah, TikTok. I mean, you can do everything on there. I work with brands who are using it to hire people or to brand
Hire people?
themselves. Yeah, it's a great platform for
Wow.
that, like for
Okay.
employment. People are looking for a job. There's so much job content on TikTok. I know I've used it
I didn't know that.
myself when I blew up my life in April. I changed careers. I definitely used the advice of a Gen Z influencer on TikTok to get what I needed, and I got it.
Oh, and you got it.
I got
Wow.
it. I would strongly recommend everybody. If you don't use it, it's okay. Because, like I said, I'm not. No offense, or I didn't say I'm not dancing on TikTok. Like that's just not my
Right.
ministry. I'm not. I'm not built for that. But
She said I'm not built.
I'm not. I'm not gonna dance on it. But I might, throw a video on here and there. And I love watching and searching for information. So
Mm,
I've gotten recipes. I've gotten recommendations for places to go for clothes. It's
okay.
great. Mhm.
Wow. I
It's
didn't
great.
know the employment part was.
Yeah, companies are really looking at that as a great opportunity for branding as well as
Mhm.
employing and attracting employees.
Wow.
Because TikTok's age range is really varied now. It's not as young as it used
Yeah,
to be.
that's
All of
true.
us seasoned folks have figured out we need to be
Whole
on the TikTok too.
whole season.
Well, maybe it's just me. you
Like
know.
we're not seasoned just yet. I mean, we're getting there, but not quite.
Hey.
I don't even know how old you are, Pamela, and I'm gonna
Okay.
say you're not seasoned.
Well, I mean, I'll throw it out. I'm proud of it because my melanin is still looking shiny and fleeky.
Right?
I'm 49.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you
So
don't
yeah.
look at all. You look a good
So
30.
Thank you. See,
Yeah.
Jesus, the skin. I'm telling you, in that water, minding your business will
Right.
keep you
Li-
unbothered.
That I think there was a song or a video where the guy was saying drinking water and minding my business. I love that
Yes.
song.
Yes, me too. And I always tell my friends, Lord, I am not about to let anybody suck the moisture out of my black skin.
Right.
So you
I
can
love
just
it.
do what you need to do, but you will not suck the moisture out of me.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Well, I'm a fresh 44. I have to
Oh, you
remember how
look
old I
beautiful.
am.
Yeah, I was gonna say you look nowhere near it either.
Oh,
See
well,
that
thank you.
that melanin? Thank God.
See? So we're not seasoned just yet.
No, no, we're still sexy. I agree. We're still looking good at our age. Yeah,
I
I'm
know.
excited. I love it. I was like, shoot, I'll be 50 in February, and I'm like, well, if I could just keep it together.
Girl, listen,
Ah,
you will keep it together. Trust me. I know someone on Instagram said I can't see your faces. I know it's the
I know.
way that it's looking. I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. Sorry. But you can check out our profiles. We are both really cute.
There you go. There you go.
We are both really, really cute.
You can do that. And speaking of profile, what's your where can they find your podcast or your social media channels? Where can they
For
find you?
sure. On Instagram, I am at the Well Done Life podcast for the Well Done Life. And then my personal one is at Pamela L. Davis.
Okay. And are you on Facebook any
I'm
or
on Facebook.
is that for the season people?
No, it's just I have to admit I'm not a big Facebook person. I know. I
Okay.
know. I just it just got a little it gets a little too rough on there sometimes for me.
Too rough.
Too rough. Like, folks get a little too emotional, a little too crazy.
Oh,
Or you start finding out things about people that you're following and you're just like, for real?
oh yeah. Gotcha.
Really? This what y'all
Gotcha.
doing? So I just totally act like that doesn't exist, and like Instagram and Facebook are two separate companies, even though I know that they're not. And I don't. But I promised myself that as I continue to build the Well Done Life, I will get back on Facebook because I'd like to do like some private groups and like connect with people more. So it's coming. It's coming. It
Okay.
is. It's coming.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
coming.
And then so mainly your podcast is on Instagram.
Yeah, I use Instagram the most. I'm also on Twitter at I am Pamela L. Davis. I don't really have a separate one for the podcast because it just doesn't to me make sense to do it. So I just have that. And then on TikTok, if y'all want to follow me and just watch what little bit of content I'm gonna put out, it's Pamela Davis. I gotta check. I'm picking up the phone now. Let me make sure
Let
what
them
my
make sure.
profile is.
And help her get over
Yeah.
1,000. Y'all come on, share her information
Yes.
so
Oh,
she
Pamela L. Davis on the TikTok. I'm
okay.
gonna try. I just have to. It's a lot of work because you're trying to get your videos right,
Right.
like, and make sure you're shooting it in good quality. I just
Um,
got reels under my belt, so y'all are asking a lot.
right, I know. And
I'm like,
don't have to retake it. Oh my God. That's too
oh,
much.
okay, right. It's like that, but again, that's the life of an influencer.
Right. Right.
That is the life of an
Look,
influencer.
I applaud them. I really do because I think I tried to do one of those dancing things,
You
and
did?
the first
Which
time
one?
I was like, oh, okay, I did it. I did pretty good, and then I said, well, dang, okay, I messed up one little part.
Uh-huh.
So the second time I messed it all up, girl. I think I had recorded it at least 6, 7 times. I said, you know what? I don't care how it looked.
Personally, that's right. It'll probably go viral because it just look like it's authentic. Go, no,
Right.
no.
So
What dance did you do?
oh, you would ask me. I don't even remember. You can tell it's been a minute, but it was a while back. But I like to do
Really?
the remixes sometimes or the
Okay.
duets as they call on TikTok. So I
Uh-huh.
try to do them. And they're pretty fun. They're pretty
It,
fun.
it,
So
I think it's cute. I just think, believe it or not, I'm still kind of shy, and I just haven't
you're
worked
shy?
my a smidge, yeah, a
You
little
oh
bit.
okay.
A smidge. And I just haven't worked my nerve up to that where I would do a dance. I see some of them. Some of them are cute. Some of them I'm just not going to do because knee health is going to prevent me from doing anything that's going to break my knees down.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Um,
we don't have
I
those
love them.
Megan knees. We don't
Yeah,
have those.
no, I do not have Megan Thee Stallion knees. I
Yeah.
have, yeah, Florida Evans knees. Yeah,
Florida.
you know, yeah, I'm
Oh my
not doing
goodness.
that.
She said, I'm not doing that.
Mm-mm.
Well, I want to say I appreciate you taking the time to
Oh,
educate me and my platform. I said my platform. I'm always saying my
that
platform
is
like
your
I'm.
platform. These are your babies. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I'm saying it right. Because sometimes when I say platform, I feel like I'm Miss America. And I'm not running for a pageant or nothing like that. But
Okay. There
okay.
you
So
go.
I'm happy. I'm on the. Yeah, right. Miss
Right. It's
America.
America.
Oh, Miss Pamela, you bring out the silliness in me. It does not
Oh,
take
I
much
love
for
it.
me to get into character. But thank you so much for coming on Share the Tea Tuesdays. And I hope that someone that is interested in starting a podcast, or even if you have had this idea and you've been sitting on it for a while, you know, conquer those fears and go ahead and do what you need to do and make your dream work for you. Um, I
Absolutely.
I really think that it's important for us to inspire other people.
Yeah.
With Share the Tea Tuesdays, I'll even jump back a couple steps. With Share the Tea with V, it was just pretty much a vision that
Mhm.
came to me. And today, May 10th, is my 3-year cancer anniversary for ovarian cancer.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
I'm
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And so I've just, ever since this whole cancer thing, I've just learned so much information from holistic,
Mhm.
health and everything. And so I just told myself, I said, why a lot of people don't know this?
Yeah.
And it just came to me, well, share the tea. And usually when you hear share the tea, it's always about gossip and who's sleeping with who and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And so I'm really trying to change the narrative. When I drink tea, I want some good tea. I want something that's nourishing for my body, something that can help me. And so I encourage you. I mean, I applaud you for sharing your part. And so that just really helped me feel a lot better,
Oh, thank you.
that, I'm going in the right direction.
Yes, you
And
are.
it's really good when you can talk to other queens like yourself that can encourage you along the way, and give you some insight. I know the young people call it gems now. I'm trying to get used to
Yes.
terminology. The gems,
Yes. The gems, the jewels.
the
Yes.
jewels, yes. But I really do appreciate you, Miss Pamela. Make sure you guys go and follow Well Done Life Podcast. She's on Instagram. You can follow her on all the podcast channels so
Yep.
that way you can go back and listen to the wonderful information that she's receiving. Because this month she said it's about lights.
Yep.
So if you missed it from uh, last month, I can't even get my thoughts together. If you missed it from last month, she was talking about worth.
Yes.
So you need to go back and hit some of those replays. Go ahead and go back and hit some of those replays. Turn off them shows and just let her knowledge sink in. Okay. I really do appreciate
Oh.
you coming on here, Miss Pamela. I really do.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And like I said, yeah, so we're going to talk afterwards because I would love to have you on my show. I definitely
Okay.
would like to learn more about your journey, and it was my pleasure. I'm so
Thank
happy to
you.
support you. I really appreciate you inviting me on. I feel so honored. I really do.
Thank you. Thank you. And one person said, I think it's Keisha, she said, make your dream work for you is a powerful message. And you ladies are amazing.
Aw.
Congratulations. Thank you, Keisha.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Keisha. Love you, Keisha.
All right. So if there's not anything else, thank you for following Show the Tea Tuesday. Stay tuned for the next segment next week. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, I thought something happened on a
Okay,
girl.
now we're still together, I think, right?
Okay.
Okay. That's okay. Hey,
My
it's
finger,
just,
my little finger hit something. I don't know. Anyways,
it
but thank
happens.
you. I know it does. But thank you for joining Share the Tea Tuesdays. Follow me on all social
Yeah,
media
absolutely.
platforms and stay tuned and stay blessed. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye
Bye, everybody.
bye.
Bye.